All right, let's roll. Here we go. Season 7. Let's go. Was it Lucky 7? I don't know. This is the 7th season of me podcasting. It's kind of crazy to think about like that. This is Joe at Faithful_Irish on the X, proudly still part of Dos Leprechauns Media. This is the Fighting Irish Faithful show. We are titling tonight's show Mexican Joker. We will come back and explain that for the people who are not savvy and get it kind of right away. But everyone else, we will have a thorough explanation later. But yeah, we're addicted to Notre Dame football. It's April. It is the spring. And the blue and gold game is this Saturday. And it's Tuesday night. So let's podcast. So here we are. It has been 125 days since the last time we did a show. We did not have our usual breakdown with 5 Foot Nothing Pod coming at the end of last season, coupled with, just being him being busy, I being busy, stuff going down. I think the night we were going to do it, we were sick in my house, whatever. I'm full of excuses. It is what it is, but it's been 125 days since the last show we did. And what's funny about that is we're only 138 days away until the Wisconsin game. So, maybe next week we'll be split in the middle right there, the halfway point. So, but then it'll be just 1 week since the last show, i.e. tonight. So anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully we get some people. People are probably just preparing for the draft, which is also on Thursday, which we will talk about as well. We got some excitement with that, it looks like, this year. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. So thank you again for joining us. So I will bring Coach Eric Parsegian on, who is with us. Thank you so much, Coach.
It has been... My bad.
You can't forget to do that.
I forgot about it till you just did it. So. Anyway, it has been, feels like an eternity because, as you said, you got lazy at the end of the year.
I prefer the expression unmotivated because it's like, what's the fucking point? We got screwed out of the playoffs.
We had nothing to look forward to. We didn't want to play in the stupid Pop-Tarts Bowl. No. I mean, the only people that were really disappointed by that were ESPN and the Mormons. So
yeah, people who want money. So, okay, I got to ask, what are you eating?
I am just nuking some turnip greens in the microwave.
Okay. That sounds way healthier than what we're having tonight.
Oh, you can never go wrong with turnip greens.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying we're having bourbon.
I know. I'm just saying.
Normally we are scotch and spreadsheets, but the spring is where we break from that tradition and we go with bourbon. And we're actually, the wife has been very keen on Angel's Envy lately. So that's what we're drinking. So I'll buy her another bottle. Sorry, honey.
Well, how
normally it's like Makers or something, but yeah.
Well, how often does the wife drink?
Not like crazy, like depressed like I did, the day we found out that we got screwed out of the playoffs. It's not like that. Like it's more like, how you doing? I'll have a cocktail or something. I've gotten good at making old fashions, whatever. But anyway, enough about that. So you were talking about being unsettled at the end of last season, because I know that's how I felt. It felt like the season was literally ripped away from us. We had all this hope, all this promise, and now the nagging thing that will always be in the back of our minds with respect to the 2025 season is we will never know truly the potential and how far that team could have gotten.
I think this year, if we didn't have Price, if we just had Love back for one more year, and I still, part of me still feels like he regrets leaving. I understand why he left, but
sure,
you cannot convince me that Notre Dame.
Spoiler alert: he's probably going to be a top 5 draft pick.
He's still not going to make as much as what Notre Dame could have paid him.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. Yeah, there's a recent report going out there about Riley Leonard, who's the backup quarterback for the Colts, who said he was making more money at Notre Dame than he is with the Colts, right? So, I mean, and I said this years ago. I was like, when all this NIL shit happened, I was like, yeah, Notre Dame's got deep pockets, got big donors, right? People who love the university and are willing to fork over cash, right? Fine. I think it's actually like Notre Dame Giving Week, right? I thought that was timed appropriately.
Notre Dame Day is coming up, I believe.
Yeah, I got some emails about that. Regardless, so yeah, if you want to donate to the university, they'll happily take your money. If you want to donate to Dos Leprechauns, I'm sure Hendrix will take your money. So,
did you get your little Notre Dame Golden Dome pop up? Or did you do that?
No, you're in a different tier than I am.
Oh, my bad.
I don't care. Whatever. I got a diploma. I got a diploma and a podcast. All right. And people in the marketing department or whatever, the legal department hate me because they think I'm violating copyright, which I'm not. But I have
a championship ring, so
that's right. Exactly. Yes. Suck on that. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Where were we?
I don't know. Let's bring Fivers on. Let's have an open forum here. I saw Fivers, our Secretary of Defense, Kevin Davis. We need a walk-up music for the Secretary of Defense, right? I'm just going to go on a limb there, Kevin, so we might put you on the spot. Jay's here, right? So we're just going to invite everybody to speak. Open forum tonight because we're just diving right back into it. There's very little introductions available. But no, the season was literally ripped around away from us. And, I mean, I'm not disappointed with the results with IU winning the title. It's a little weird. Felt like hell was freezing over for a few minutes there. But that being said, I mean, we've never been anti-IU football in this house. The doc, for people who are new, that's where her grad degree is from, right? I lived in Bloomington for a year. Know the town well. Wife was actually back there a week ago, right? For an appointment, whatever. Point being, the only time we've ever cheered against IU football was when they played Notre Dame. And that's it. Like every other time, it's like, sure, go Hoosiers, right? So I'm not pissed that IU won. Certainly didn't want the fucking convicts to win. So fuck those guys. Which is funny. I have to eat crow because I was that asshole like 3 weeks out before the playoff selection committee, screwed us over. But I said there's no fucking chance that Miami makes the playoffs given what was going on. And then look what happens. They go all the way to the title. And, for a while, it was a pretty contested game with IU. But so I'm like, oh, geez, I guess looks like I got that one wrong, too. So I don't know. But everything else in this podcast is pat. So is down pat. So.
Well, hey, we can't say the same thing that teams like Alabama can. We didn't make a gutsy 4th down call against our 5-win rival.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it would have helped Notre Dame if they were in a conference, went to the conference championship, and got their ass kicked by Georgia. Then we would have been in the playoffs, just like Alabama, right? I mean, or just had no offense and a decent defense like Oklahoma, right?
Or not even make the conference championship game like Texas A&M.
Yeah. There's that too.
Makes a conference pretty irrelevant, in my opinion.
That's what's really funny about it. I actually think that this latest results per se are really downplaying the conference championship game and like how it is stupid. So,
I'll tell you this much:
more to go.
It is the window for a championship is finally open for USC. I'll say.
Yeah, they're playing San Diego State or San Jose State or whoever they're playing now instead of Notre Dame.
Forget having Caleb Williams and winning the Heisman Trophy.
Jeez,
that was
Louise.
not
They could never get a... the best thing that happened to USC was them not having to play Utah anymore because their record against Utah was trash.
Or Notre Dame.
Well, clearly. But I guess my point is, if you're going to... Yeah, at least, do the two-hand cheer. Here, wait. You can't do that against Utah, right? Utah owns them. And now that Kyle Whittingham is over at Michigan, who knows what's going to happen with that. Decent hire, by the way, Michigan. But that being said, so. All right, let's bring Fivers on here. Fivers, you there? It's been a minute since we've heard you. Let's call you up.
Yeah. I'm not waiting like 30 seconds for it to
No, I'm not going to play the whole damn thing. All right, what's up, man? Here, we'll just stop it. All right, what's up?
Yeah, welcome to 2026.
2026. Do you know what team this is? Like team, 132 or whatever it is? I don't care.
It's Notre Dame, is it not?
Well, it is, but like Notre Dame sometimes like runs that propaganda like this is team 135 and you're part of this historic lineage of football legends. I don't know.
That's a lie they say to every team every year.
I mean, this is volume 173 of the podcast, so I'm kind of like, doing the same thing, right? So.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
that's kind of more of a clerical engineer thing. Like, how many podcasts have I done? Like, I want to make this like, okay, this is what I want to do in the off season. Sidebar. I want to go through and I would love to make this like great matrix of like episode, name, title, right? And then like what was the intro song we did? Because I don't want to like recycle things, but I'm curious of what we did or what we did use from an intro. And then also who are our contributors and, who was, a contributor in said show. And then we could actually like tally up like who has the most, contributions, right? Probably Jay and Coach Parsegian are leading the pack, right? Even more than my silly brother. So, sidebar, another question, Fivers. So okay. I've been patient as a patient husband. I've been encouraging the doc that she should join the podcast live in studio. She's not here, by the way.
Okay.
But would that be interesting or no?
I don't know.
Knee-jerk reaction. Yes, no. There's no other like spouse Notre Dame podcast, right? But there's also no other Scotch and Spreadsheets podcast. So I don't know.
It probably is if you look everywhere on the internet, So.
All right, never mind. All right, dumb question. Continue. Fivers, what the world is your oyster. What would you like to talk about? Or you can just listen. That's fine,
Okay.
All right. Fivers are going to put you on mute. All right.
Oh, wait, time out. Who was that one? I think it was the recruit with that insane one-handed catch during practice.
Oh, geez. You're getting very specific here.
You saw that, though, right?
I did see it. It happened. I just happened to be scrolling at the time when it came out. That was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was still badass though.
I don't doubt the badassness of it, but who was it? It was oh fuck. is.
I saved it, but I'm too lazy to go back. You know what? Screw it. I'll go back and look at it.
All right, Fivers, go do some homework. Figure out who the new person is. I will say this, back to which I think what Fivers is getting at, and then we'll go over to Jay here. There may be some stars aligning here. I'm gonna jump ahead in the notes to something I've been thinking for a very long time, and I have said it before, but I think last year I didn't, just because we were down 2 games, and then we had to kind of climb ourselves back, and it looked like we were going to make the playoffs, then we get screwed, so we'll never know about 2025. But 2 years ago, beginning of the season, we were talking about the quarterbacks, the Riley Leonard controversy, right? Where he had thrown like 0 passing touchdowns in 10 quarters of football or whatever it was. And I'm actually in the process of listening to those shows right now. Like
Kadon Finley.
Who is it, Fivers?
Kadon Finley.
All right, here. Well, for the people who are going on this, let's go to our Fenway. He's a receiver, wide receiver.
Yep.
All right, we're looking at the. How did you look that up? Did you just watch the thing?
No, I have it saved on Instagram.
Oh, look at you, Kadon Finley.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman. He's a freshman. He's not a transfer.
No.
Freshman from Alito, Tejas.
Yeah, I don't know where that is on the map. So.
Texas is that big state near Mexico. Sorry, I couldn't resist. We're pulling him up here in our recruiting here. You have to go down kind of far. He's a 4-star recruit.
I'll just post it in the chat section.
Oh, thank you. Do it on the YouTube
I
chat
can't
as
post
well.
pictures on the YouTube chat.
Well, I know, but do what you got to do.
You can probably pull it up.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Ken36 says, "Go Irish." Love it. Okay, excellent.
All right, it's in there.
All right, cool. Thank you, Ken M36 on YouTube. Go Irish. Thank you. Yeah, higher rated than Noah Grubbs, our future backup, right? So there it is. Yeah, Caden Finley, wide receiver, 6 foot, from Texas. There it is. Good. 91 score. 36th position, 40th best player in Texas. That's pretty good, in my opinion. One man's opinion there.
Yeah, but I was 39th best, so
Nice. So you like the one-handed catch?
I thought it was good. That's what I heard about in recent Notre Dame news. I want to think Kerry Davis was decommitting, I think. 4-star safety. I mean, it sucks, but it's not like we have a million safeties back there. I think
right. Well, and you got someone like a Don Schuler, right? Come on.
Hey Johnson and all that too.
Luke Talich back there, exactly. So here we are. Do you feel that there might be this is finally the year where the receiving and the quarterback is on point, and we get back to that level of 2019 with Chase Claypool, or 2017, with
Will Fuller and all them.
Well, Will Fuller was the 2015 year, but you get my point, right? Like, we get back to where you have Notre Dame household name receivers, and like Great House is awesome. I actually watched the highlights of the you go to YouTube and watch a game fast forwarded, right? It's 30 minutes condensed, and it's just all the plays, right? I actually watched the Penn State game, the bowl game from 2 years ago, the Orange Bowl. And it's Great House looked amazing, right? I totally, for some reason, forgot that he broke people's ankles, right? So
didn't he get injured during the last season?
What's that?
Didn't he go out on he redshirted due to an injury or something?
I don't know the specifics behind his like status as redshirt or whatever, but I do know that he had an injury. I think he had a new girlfriend too, you know, something to that effect, right? But point being is like I need Greathouse back being a contributor to this team, right? You know, but here's the thing, like per the Notre Dame stat sheet here with our receivers, and we have a ton of them on the roster. The biggest guys are 6'2", you know. Now, you know, you have Devin Fitzgerald, who's a 6'2", 208-pound freshman out of Arizona, right? So that doesn't suck, right?
We literally have one of the greatest receivers of all time on our team.
Yeah. What, Jerome Bettis Jr., or what are you talking about?
Receiver, Jerome Bettis was not a
No,
receiver.
who are you talking about? I mean, Logan Saldate still has, like, one of the coolest names of all time.
I'm talking about Devin Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah. That's who I just said.
Yeah, I know. And he's the son of one of the greatest.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah. I'm with
that's
you.
all I got in Notre Dame news recently.
I mean, it's going to come from youth, and it's going to come from, you know, I mean, maybe Alex Whitman, you know, who's a senior. I don't know. You know, it's, I think
this year is the year where we finally get back to, player. We're going to establish a connection like Brady Quinn did with Golden Tate.
You mean Samardzija? Or Jimmy Clausen with Golden Tate.
Yeah,
you're crossing some streams there. You know, you're creating a fantasy team by what you just did.
Hey man, as long as they win a championship, I haven't been
facts.
A couple of nights.
Yeah, so back to the concept of what I said earlier. I actually think that Freeman's fifth year, and I said this, I was thinking this years ago, and I said it 2 years ago, and I haven't said it since. I think this year we got a good shot. And I know it's the first fucking show of the year, right? Season 7, episode 1. Right. Look, I'm not trying to like, you know, fluff anyone's pillow or something. No, I'm just like logically thinking, look, you've got Carr, right? He's been now, this is third year technically in the system, second year as a starter. Okay. He's going to have more experience. I hear he's, you know, studying Matthew Stafford film. Great. The receivers look a lot more polished. You know, the room looks a lot more talented. I'll just be frank. Freeman's been around the block. God help us, we don't lose an early game, you know, in the season. You know what I'm saying? And the schedule is so weak this year. You know, like, who knows what's going to happen with Wisconsin, honestly. But, like, the Rice game scares the shit out of me just because it's Rice and it's that early
we're gonna
whatever
put, like,
season.
62 up on Rice. I'm not.
Are you sure about that? Did you watch Northern Illinois and did you watch Marshall? I'm just saying, like, look, we don't have to go down that crazy hole. I'm just saying, like,
did you watch Syracuse, which is a better
I
team
did.
than
Well,
Rice?
okay, all right. So that gets back to why we're calling the show Mexican Joker, right? Notre Dame is pissed. The players should be ticked off. The coach, we know Freeman's, you know, beyond himself. Yeah, and it's like the fan base should be pissed. This should not be a normal, it's Notre Dame, beginning of the season. Like, look, the spring game is fun. It's in the family, right? If they want to wear polka dots, fine. I don't care. The point is, like, when it comes down to it in Wisconsin, this team should be built differently and should have not a chip on your shoulder, but a fucking rock on your shoulder of how pissed you are that you were ousted from the playoffs and essentially lied to for 3-4 weeks in a row that you were going to be in the playoffs, okay? Then they pulled a whole switcheroo and, we're going to put Alabama in because we like them. And, well, Notre Dame's not in a conference, and they lost 2 games, and they lost a head-to-head to Miami. Like, fine. No, fuck you guys, all right? You've just created a villain, and that's who we are now. So I hope that Notre Dame, the player, the team, forget the fans for a minute, and forget what I'm saying, but the team
all right, that's it. That's
should essentially be going around as the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Be the villain.
Yeah. Embrace the heel.
Yeah. So you should feel like you got screwed. You should feel like they need to pay the price for what they did. And that is my opinion. That is how I feel. And I don't know if other fans feel that way, but I think a lot of people are unhappy with how, and unsettled with how 2025, ended, because it was literally ripped away. We had no position to respond after destroying Syracuse. What did we score? Like 35 points in the first quarter?
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me? Like, I think we had scored 28 points, and the offense wasn't even on the damn field. Like, I don't even, like, it's incomprehensible the level we were playing at. Now, granted, Angeli wasn't there, and he was injured. But point being, like, there is something I hope different with this team, and it's setting up to be very poetic in a good way for us. So
I feel like if the players played a year the way we're feeling, people are going to talk about 2026 Notre Dame in the same boat as like 2001 Miami and whatnot. I feel like we can totally go undefeated and kick ass. I think at the very least in the first two games we're winning by an average of like 62.
Right.
So we're gonna probably like 30-0 each game almost.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I am patiently waiting for the Shamrock Series reveal though.
Yeah, we'll see what it is. They always do some homage to whoever they're playing. Sorry for all the ads. Damn it, ND Nation, for the people on YouTube. But yeah, Wisconsin, they don't have all the details here about this. Well, of course they know it's NBC. What's wrong with you guys? But yeah, Wisconsin, bad record. Rice, forgot about it. Michigan State, do they even have a coach? Yeah, they got the guy from Oregon State, right? Purdue, forget about it. North Carolina, come on. Stanford, no. BYU is the first tough game, in my opinion. Can I say that? I'm overlooking.
It's going to be so tragic too, because we're going to be so used to.
It is in Provo.
Terrible opponents.
Navy. The Miami game is the real hot one. There's really three games. Okay, it's BYU, Miami, and SMU. Okay, that's it.
Beating SMU.
But SMU, beat Miami last year, right? So fortunately, it's a home game.
Why wasn't SMU in the playoffs then?
Pardon?
Why wasn't SMU in the playoffs then if they beat Miami?
You're asking detailed questions I don't have the answers to. But the point I'm making is, the schedule seems kind of weak, and I do agree, number one, that yes, we should win by 30 points, but I think we may have to.
If we win by one score, that's going to look like shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, especially to Rice. So.
You know how embarrassing that would be?
Look, I just want to get through the Rice game, and then I'll be calmer. Okay, because
if we lose to Rice, I might consider jumping ship.
Well, don't do that. Where are you going to jump to? What are you going to do? Just go watch Yankee baseball or something?
I prefer something that straight guys do.
Oh my!
But
those would be fighting words with Coach Eric Parsegian. Check, please. Let's go to Jay. Jay, you there? You're on mute.
Hello.
Yo, how you doing?
Well, it's way too early in the season.
Sorry, I was a little late on that one. My bad.
That's all good. All good. It's way too early. I mean, we walked into last season.
It's 10 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. I got work.
No, I'm talking about in the season.
No, you're correct.
We walked into last season thinking our defense was good, and all we had to do was make sure that our quarterback
Chris Ash. Oh, sorry, and he's back. Chris Ash is back.
He's back, but he also improved over time. But
thank God.
But
Someone had to put a leash on him, like, stop fucking up the defense.
you can't go with assumptions this early in the season, is what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to happen in that first series, in that first game. And that's gonna really, I mean, that's why I'm confident that we're gonna have a winning season, but man, it's too early for me to say that I'm confident we can actually have a revenge tour just yet.
Yeah. So you're now. Let me put it another way. So you're reserving the belief or the evidence for the revenge tour.
The belief.
Okay.
Just the belief. Yeah, not the evidence. I mean, if I buy into it, yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah. So can I say that that's what you want though?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now obviously that's not a nice thing, revenge. But do you feel that I don't want to say it like revenge is justified, right? Because that's never correct. But like
No.
this is sports, right? This is not real revenge. You know what I mean? Like healthy competition. Like let's not go out there. Yeah, like let's not go out there and like physically try to injure people. But like I think we have the ability and should have no qualms about running up the score. Can I say that?
Well, I mean, you've got to have that balance too, right? I mean, you've got to be able to run up the score.
I mean, maybe not do it against Navy, but like because we respect them, but that's different.
Well, I think about player development. You know, you can run up the score for 3 quarters and then put in some players to get some quality reps because you may need those players by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and especially the younger guys, right? Like you get up to a big lead, right? And then, play all the seniors or, play the young freshmen or, the rising juniors or whatever it is, right?
Right. Someone who had a good practice last week. Let's put him in there for the third quarter or fourth quarter.
Ooh, third quarter. I like that. I'd be down with that. Third quarter. Amen.
Yeah.
Especially against Rice, because then I'll feel better. We won't stop talking about that. I'm sorry. It's the one game I'm nervous about. It's the first game, like that. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Jay, let's actually talk a little bit about the spring game. Right? What do you want to see?
No injuries.
Okay. Step 1, no injuries. Okay. Yep. I also don't want to trip down my stairs at home. Right. So that's good.
Right.
Do you we know, and, I almost said Angeli. Jeez Louise. Carr is only going to get limited reps for obvious reasons. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But are you looking at maybe the receivers or the defense or is there anything you're jumping out at you? Where do you want to go?
Well, I think that, all the given starters are not going to play much. So, yeah, I'd like to see some of these freshmen from last year or sophomores that have made great strides that we've been talking about outside of the ones that started all last season, right? See what they can actually do out there in, real-time speed.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to see. But again, go back to no injuries. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the third string, fourth string quarterback and you're out there playing, you're on the team for a reason. So
absolutely. The guys I want to see, this is my take for the spring game. Obviously, again, agree with you 100%. No injuries. 2, we know we're going to put the backups in or the young guys in, right? It's kind of what the spring game's about. I want to see this new group of freshmen. I want to see Rodney Dunham, Joey O'Brien, Kari Adams, Audney Pouncey, Grayson McKee. Sorry, I don't speak whatever that is. Ebenezer, golly, Willikers, Notre Dame, and I'm the one with the complicated Polish last name. Jonas Walton, Javian Osborne, running back. Run the damn ball. First bell of the season. Here we go. Charlie Thom, Devin Fitzgerald, Elijah Golden. This is cool. We have a Dallas Golden and an Elijah Golden.
Yeah.
Can they be? And Elijah Golden's on the D line, and Dallas Golden's, I think, is the DB. So put them both on the field at the same time. Tyler Merrill, Chaz Smith, Caden Finley. We know that's what Fivers wants to see with the one-handed catch. Bubba Frazier, Thomas Javis Jr., Braden Robinson, Jacoby Clapper, Noah Grubbs, backup quarterback, Dylan Faison. Is he related to Jordan Faison?
Yep. Yep.
I think I read that too.
Is he going to be is he going to be at the spring game though? Because, he's playing lacrosse.
I don't know. I mean, it's a wide receiver thing, and we'll see what happens. Tiki Hola, he's got to be. No, he's from Texas. I thought that guy was going to be from Hawaii. Do we have any Hawaiians on this roster? Probably not. We know the Hawaiian kicker went to the draft, so that's a miss there. Sullivan Garvin, Nick Reddish, Jasper Scariff, and then some other guys. And then transfers. I haven't even looked at this. From Oregon, Tona Gray, D lineman. These guys will get time. Mylan Graham, this guy I am actually excited because he's a receiver from Ohio State. Okay. Yep. I'm going to, remind my boss about that because he's a Buckeye. Francis Beru, a D lineman from Pitt. I like that. Jaden Sanders, cornerback from Michigan. Welcome to the light side and leaving the dark side. Keon Keeley. Welcome home, right?
Yep.
Does anyone remember that saga from a couple years ago? Because I sure do. All right.
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm surprised he was welcomed back, but
he was
a
5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Out of high school, went to Bama, didn't pan out, and you know what? Look, we didn't rip your name out of our address book here. It's like, oh, you want to come back? Absolutely. Welcome back to Notre Dame. Quincy Porter, another receiver from Ohio State, so that's 2. And DJ McKinley, cornerback from Colorado. All right, so I'm excited actually about the transfers as well. I kind of want to see these guys in some blue and gold. Maybe they'll wear polka dots, probably not. But the point being is, I'm looking at transfers. I'm looking at all the people I just went through, all these young men. So. It's the transfers and it's the freshmen that I always like seeing. I mean, shit, one of the first years that we did the show and we went to the spring game with baby Irish Faithful, who's now 4. He'll be 5 in June. Give me a break. But, that was the year that Price was a freshman and Angeli was a freshman, and that was a great spring game. The weather was good, too. And I think the weather's going to be good this weekend as well. So. That's where we're at, man. All right. Anything else, Jay?
No, I don't have anything else. Yeah, let's hear some stats.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's get the Secretary of Defense on, and we'll invite him to speak. And we'll also do a check of the thing. All right. So Kevin Davis has said in the chat, continuity and 4-man pressure is key to the season. He's clearly talking defensive schemes here. Maybe we should write a memo to Chris Ash as well. We have a few Hawaiian linebackers. Amen. Amen. Oh, and then Fivers posted this sweet picture in the chat, so go check it out here in this space. I love it. Secretary of Defense, you can come on, and I think MJV84, who was our first female contributor ever, but I don't want this to sound offensive, but I think she won't be offended when I say this. She's kind of like the team mom, right? I'm not saying she's giving us Capri Sun and fruit roll-ups or anything, but like the point is, like, I don't know, like unless she doesn't want to, she can lambaste me later, but otherwise, she's the team mom of the podcast. So MJV84. Let's get some stats though here, because we didn't actually do the stat breakdown at the end of last season, after IU wins, and we usually like recycle everything, right? For the people that really like that kind of shit, here's where we're going to go. So, all right. Stats of champions. Boom. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Oh, no, don't show that yet. All right. That's going to spoil it for later. All right. No one's in the YouTube chat, but that's fine. Parade of Champions. So, obviously, total touchdowns and scoring defense are still the same. Those have not changed. And I kind of drew some messy arrows here for at least the top stats of what has moved and changed positions. So, it looks a little bit more like red yarn with newspaper clippings, and I look like some sort of psycho person, right? Okay. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Rush defense actually drops down 1. Scoring defense moves up 2 to the number 3 spot. Total defense drops down 1. Passing touchdowns jumps up 2. Completion percentage drops huge, quite frankly. And tackles for loss allowed goes up a lot. Rushing touchdowns sadly drops just 1. But the most important stats are now total touchdowns, which hasn't changed, of course. Scoring defense, scoring offense, rush defense, total defense, etc., etc., etc. Okay. What's the crazy piece is where Notre Dame ended up in all of this stuff. First and foremost, and this is going to piss people off, but that's kind of by intent, by design. Sagarin. We like talking about Sagarin because it's all math. All right. Indiana clearly wins the title. They're number 1. Ohio State number 2. Interesting. All right. Look who's number 3 in Sagarin at the end of last season. Team that didn't even make the fucking playoffs, Notre Dame. Notre Dame was number 3 in Sagarin at the end of the season. I'm going to let that silence exist. All right. So just, let that fester. All right. I remember when I saw that, I was completely floored.
We didn't beat a 5-win Auburn on a 4th and goal. That's why we didn't get in. Sagarin means nothing when it comes to that.
I know, and sadly, Sagarin is not a factor of the playoff committee. All right, here's the deal. This is what I think should happen, because after I had lots of time. We've had, 125 days since the last show we did. Here's what I think they should do. Fuck the committee. Get rid of the committee. But keep the 12-team playoff format. But what they should do instead is hybrid both systems. Go back to the BCS system of ranking, but keep 12 teams.
I have a question, Joe.
Okay.
Hypothetically, let's say that the playoff is expanded to 24 teams.
Oh, God. Okay.
I get it.
I'm sitting down when you tell me that, but continue.
You're drinking, so it's tolerable.
Not much. Okay. Continue.
But we shorten the regular season to 10 games.
Oh.
Would it be more tolerable then?
I don't know if
you're in a conference, you keep your 8-game conference.
Yeah, so here's the problem why I don't think that'll happen is because these lower level chump teams, and they are chump teams, right? From smaller conferences, buy a loss essentially by getting paid a lot of money to get their face pounded by Georgia. You know what I'm saying? This happens all the time, and those ass pounding games those teams get help pay for their football program.
Well, Georgia can't beat the Georgia State Patrol right now, so.
Well, look, all I'm saying is there's the problem with college athletics, which has been the problem of NIL and all this other shit, right? Like, what did I see? Some sort of like weird executive order come out about, transferring an NIL. Yeah. Look, I don't even want to talk about that, like, because it doesn't matter, right? Because Notre Dame's got more money than God, right? Look, come to Notre Dame, it's going to set you up. I have not changed my stripes on that. Point being, I don't think what you're proposing as a 10-team season, because that would force teams into just their conference schedule, okay? I actually think in a way that would hurt Notre Dame from a like if that happens and teams have to stick to their conference schedule, that's going to hurt Notre Dame. Now, if you're advocating for Notre Dame joining a conference, I'm kind of with you because
I'm not.
But that's always been my position. But I have my reasons for that. But anyway, my point is, I don't know if that would fly from a financial standpoint with respect to other programs, especially lower level programs.
I'm just thinking more from one of the biggest complaints from last year was the timetable, the schedule of everything.
Yeah, but the reason why last year's fucking schedule was stupid or the playoffs was stupid is because you had James Madison in there with, who was it? Was it Tulane was the other one? And they both got their face, smashed, in their game, right? It's like you guys, and even Nick Saban, is coming out and saying like they have no business being in there. Like, and if they would just stop that nonsense and like say like, well, we have to give a conference champion, It's like, stop, right? These teams are inferior. Yes, they won their conference, right? And had things maybe gone crazy, Boise State could have maybe been in there, but like, that's my second love for people who are new. But the point is, like, that's nonsense. And that's why I think get rid of this automatic bid nonsense and go with the BCS system of ranking, from computers to the AP, and throw the bone to the AP because the AP historically always ranked teams, right? The get rid of the playoff committee because it's stupid. It's impossible to remove personal bias from individual people. That's why the AP is a little better because you have beat writers from all teams that are all kind of in the same thing. So it's kind of a wash, okay, of the biases. I'll throw it back to you. I'll throw it back to you in a sec. But go back to the BCS style of ranking, but rank 12 teams, and then there's your playoff. And if that was the case, Notre Dame definitely would have been in. Not fucking Tulane. All right, continue, Coach.
I'm not advocating for Tulane and James Madison to be in.
I would be surprised if you were.
I'm just saying, 20 years ago, we were having this very same argument for Boise State to get a shot at a national title.
Oh yeah, I back in the day I wanted I wanted an 18 playoff because an 18 playoff was very pure and da 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 da. Now I like the 12 team playoff in the sense that I actually really really like the home games, for the playoffs. I actually think that's super cool. Because that's what college football is all about.
Rounds.
College football is all about, some small town, but with a big school or whatever, and you've got 100,000, seat, like someplace like Tennessee or Michigan, Notre Dame, pick a school, right? And you've got this big stadium. It's a, Coliseum of college football or whatever. Fuck you, Trojans. I don't mean you. My point is like having a playoff game in one's home stadium is super cool. And it was super cool to be at Notre Dame's playoff game in 2024, personally.
But my argument is, why do we have all these other conferences? Why do we have all these other teams that are Division I, FBS, if they have no business being in the playoff? We bitched about Alabama and no telling how at least 3 or 4 other FBS teams being in the playoff that did not deserve to be there, at least in the 12-team playoff over the last couple of years. And it's like, okay, we don't want more teams than 12, but there's a lot of people that are slowly growing in favor of more than 12, be it 16, be it 18, be it whatever. Yeah. And I'm kind of trying to play devil's advocate a little bit, but it's just, why do we have all these other FBS programs Why are they just there to pad stats and be a cupcake
Well,
homecoming game?
and like, I mean, how many people from Montana or Eastern Washington or Cal Poly, you know?
Montana is actually a
But
win
my
double
point
A.
is like the fans of those programs or even those coaches and players don't think they're gonna go to the fucking Rose Bowl or something. You know what I mean? Like they don't
Well,
they
okay,
don't
do you
come
think
in with
North
that
Dakota
MO.
State, North Dakota State, who is actually playing an FBS schedule in an FBS conference this year,
Are they really?
I would be willing to bet they have a legitimate shot at winning the conference, it being North Dakota State.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They were good in the Mountain West because I would see them all the time. Them in Montana State. They were always up there because I would see them when they came to Sac State.
No, I'm not saying North Dakota State's going to make the playoff, but I'm just saying that they're going to make
Football
the case.
only member.
Yeah.
Wow. In Mountain West. Well, and a lot of that I think has to do with the fact that the Pac-12 has been realigned now. Wow.
Yeah, well, actually, I think we're actually going to have Pac-12 back this year.
Yeah, no, you will. You will. You'll have like you know, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State. Yeah, absolutely. And the only reason why I know this is because Gonzaga, my alma mater, for basketball only is in the Pac-12 now. The new Pac-12.
And thank you for no selling my joke about Georgia versus the Georgia State Patrol.
Sorry, that went over my head.
Another Georgia player was arrested within the last.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, got it. All right. So
You know what I think needs to really happen, and I really believe this. The more and more that this is, look, let's be honest. College football is becoming professional football more and more. I think that there needs to be a preseason, and I think eventually there will. I think eventually they're going to collective bargain, and I think that that's going to be one of the things, because how many times do we see teams get eliminated, or not eliminated, but upset in week one? But if you had a preseason, you could be a little bit more ready. I think that's just me. I think I think if Notre Dame had a preseason last year, and Carr could have had some more snaps and whatnot, and not just been thrown in the fire.
I don't think that's the problem with the first two games. I think the problem was the defense first two games.
Well, yeah, but a freshman quarterback.
No, I'm with you. So
but I do think I think that's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I was unaware of this with North Dakota State, so I appreciate you guys making me aware of this. So North Dakota State, yep, Mountain West. Their schedule is as follows: Jacksonville State, Fordham, Air Force, Sac State. That's a nod to you, Mac. Wyoming, UNLV, Nevada, New Mexico, UTEP, Hawaii, Northern Illinois. That's a tough school. And then San Jose State. Well done, North Dakota State. Welcome to FBS. You guys deserve it. You guys have been killing it down there in FCS. Well done. Well done. All right. Well, we lost the Secretary of Defense. He just had a couple things to say, but that's fine. Team Mom's still listening. Love it. All right. Mac, how you doing, man? We didn't get your walk-up music. I'm sorry. How you doing, man? It's been 125 days since we did a podcast, so maybe you're just listening. I don't know. Or X and the space is crapping out as usual. So, all right, let's get to some stats here. Not to beat a dead horse here, but Mac, if anyone wants to jump in, just interrupt. But here's the deal. So we've rearranged the statistics. Where did Notre Dame end up last year? Okay. Oh, that's weird. I don't have that. Yards per point. There it is. Jeez Louise. God bless America. What? Okay, so this is breaking news. Notre Dame's yards per point last year was 10.92. This is the stat I always like talking about. By the way, for people on YouTube here, green means so obviously you have so what is this stat? This is Notre Dame stats. This is the stats of champions, yards per point. Okay, that's the stat. I don't want to say I invented it, but I talk about it a lot. National champions on average over the last 10 years, their yards per point, how many yards, yard points divided by points on the scoreboard, 11.69 or 11.7. That's what the last 10 teams that have won titles, hold the trophies, have done. Notre Dame beat that 10.92. What's really crazy is the last 3 years of Coach Freeman, 2023, 2024, 2025, have all been better than the national champion average. And this past year was the best, 10.92, which is even more irritating why Notre Dame didn't make the playoffs. Our 4-year recruiting average was better than national champion. Green means, so on this tab, green is the best, quote unquote, since, keeping track of stats since 2004, 2005, whatever it is, right? Scoring defense is decent. It wasn't the worst, but it was 10th last year. Scoring offense, okay. Notre Dame was the number 2 team in the country in scoring offense. We averaged 42 points a game. The national champion average of the last 10 years now is 41, and Notre Dame was better than that. Good God, that it's just gonna continue to be bad. Rush defense, okay. The best it ever was last year, 11th in the country. Now it's not better than national champion average, but it's still best it's ever been, even from the Freeman and Kelly years, right? That's what this dark line is right here. This is the Freeman years, this is the Kelly years, and here's the Weiss years, and there's actually a little bit of Willingham down here. But anyway, passing touchdowns, all right, you need to work on that. Obviously, tackles for loss allowed, all right, it wasn't the best. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Rush touchdowns, okay, we were 5th in the country in rushing touchdowns. We had 38. That does not suck. Now, last year was 45. But look, here's the deal. 38 over 12 games versus 45 over 15 games, right? So which was better per game? Last year, okay, which accounted for 54% of all of our touchdowns scored. Completion percentage, it's okay. It's not the best, but it is what it is. That Clausen year of 67.3 was really good. But look where Carr was last year, 67.2. Damn, Carr's there in his first year starting. What's it going to be like this year? I'm very optimistic. Okay, I'm telling you, season 5 with Freeman and year 2 of Carr, I'm loving it. We're gonna skip the red zone crap. Not because we don't like it, but look, third down percentage of offense, third down conversion, right? We're just right there with national champion average, 48.2% national champion average, 48.3%. Third down defense, it's not better than national champion average, but it's in the ballpark, right? Turnover margin was really good. We were 7th in the country, right? It wasn't better than last year, but it was still good enough to be dangerous. Passing defense, right? It was actually kind of bad. It's actually the worst of the Freeman era. I don't know if that's in the Xavier Watts effect. I don't know. So if there's an even better if from last year as pass defense. But look where we are. We're in column BA of the spreadsheet here. Okay. Red zone scoring percentage. actually was the worst since I've been keeping stats. That's not good. Rushing yards, 17th in the country, better than national champion average, averaging 203 yards a game. Not better than the 33 trucking Josh Adams year of 2017. And not better than 2020 either with Kyron Williams. But it would get not even bronze medal because 2015 would beat it out as well. So rushing attempts per touchdown, better than national champion average last year. Passing attempts per touchdown, just shy of national champion average of 12.92. So where am I going with this? Notre Dame is in the ballpark, man. We're poised, I think, for greatness, especially in that passing game, which everyone has been talking about as being the Achilles heel of the offense. And if we could just get the passing working, then we'd be flying high, we'd be sailing right out there, right? So hopefully people get that reference. So, all right. Comments, questions, concerns. Team Mom gave us a thumbs up, or no, that was a green heart. Thank you, MJV84. That's really all the stats I wanted to go through. Like just real high level. I mean, we could talk about IU if people really want IU stats. I have them because how else do you build this spreadsheet unless you actually talk about the people that held the trophy? Under Coach Signetti, IU. I mean, they won. They did really well. 16-0. Not a single team has ever done that. I guess Michigan went 15-0. So did Georgia. So did LSU and Clemson, right? But like 16-0, legit. There it is. Mac has requested to speak. Oh, sorry, Mac. My bad. There we go. Usually Red Snapper's my co-host, and he's more on point with that, but I don't know. He's actually moving right now.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Mac? Sorry about that.
Can I say a stat that killed Notre Dame, and in my opinion is the reason they did not get into the college football playoffs?
Okay.
There's two stats.
Hold on. Do I need more bourbon for this? No, continue. Go ahead.
The fourth down conversion rate was 66th in the nation.
I actually do not have CFB stats up.
And they went for it quite a few times on fourth down.
Yeah.
And then their field goal, for field goal percentage,
hold on, wait. So
129th.
Hold on, wait. Fourth down. I've got Notre Dame as 70th in the country in fourth down conversion.
Okay. So I said 66. I'm sorry, you said 7. But,
I'm like sinking the ship here. Here's a rock. Here, hold this. Notre Dame. Yeah. 54.84% on fourth down. 12 of 31. No, that's games. Sorry. 17 out of 31 attempts. That's a lot of attempts. Where are we on the attempt column?
Yeah, they went for it quite a bit.
Really high.
Failed.
Well, not crazy high. We're tied with 38 with BYU and UCLA, I guess. But
so, Joe, imagine if they got under center.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing to me, Mac.
But it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And then the field goal percentage was, I'm looking at it right now, is 55%. So those two stats. Yeah, so that means at fourth down, you were totally unproductive on offense.
Field goals. I don't think I've ever looked up field goal. Sorry, so percentage. All right, well, we did
55.56, which is 100.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Do you know what the ranking is on that?
129th.
130th per my source here. What all right, back up. What source are you looking at? I'm very curious.
Well, they're tied. So they're tied.
No. What's the
State.
website you're looking at?
I am looking at teamrankings.com.
You're looking at team rankings? Okay, I love team rankings. So I'm looking at cfbstats.com.
Okay. So they have them tied
CFB
at
Stats is one of my favorite websites. And also, it's really easy to use around. All right, yeah. So I got Notre Dame at 130, right? Again. Gosh, that's so bad. 130th in field goal kicking?
That means at fourth down, what are you getting? You're like, you know what I mean?
I don't even know.
That's what killed them.
Games, attempts made. Okay. So we only attempted 9 field goals.
Mm-hmm.
And we made
So you're leaving
5
points off the board.
Okay, but let's put this in perspective, Mac. Hold on a second. The percentage is bad. I'm with you. And we don't have Justin Yoon, right? I want to do something here in a sec. I don't even know if it'll go back that far. But 9 attempts total. It's a single digit. 9 of 5. Now, maybe that's a function of what you're getting at well, we didn't attempt too many field goals because we know our kicker sucks, so we have to go for it on 4th or something.
Sure.
Maybe.
You gotta be good at one of it.
Or, I mean, Freeman's pretty savvy about going for it on 4th down. Now, you were talking about the 4th down thing here, but like, let me put it another way, Mac. Notre Dame is tied with second worst or second lowest in attempts total of field goals. We only attempted 9 field goals in 12 games.
No, I understand.
So I'm kind of like, well, maybe really... that's not moving the needle, because like if you want to just look at points, we missed 4. That's 12 points total for the whole fucking season we're missing out on.
My point is how many times did they not even attempt a field goal, and then they were at the 20, and it was like 4th and 1, and they got stopped because they would go take the ball from the back. My point is you are having an unproductive 4th down. Whether you missed the field goal or you went for it on 4th down and failed, you aren't productive on 4th down. You might as well just punt the ball. They might have had better success doing that, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, Freeman's faked punts too, you know. I guess let me put. I want to turn the lens the other way. This is like you're at the optometrist, like better number 1, better number 2. I'm gonna turn this around. CFP stats is only letting me go back to 2020. Okay, so that was one of the second to last year of Kelly, right? The scary COVID year. Do you know that Notre Dame is 6th in the country in total attempts, tied with 6? We're tied with Oklahoma State, Clemson, Auburn, Miami, and Boston College and Memphis. Okay, or excuse me, no, fuck those last 3 teams. Just Clemson and Oklahoma State of 23 attempts. Okay, we're 6th, tied with 6. Percentage-wise, we're 65.2%. And what were we this past year? 55? Okay, so it was a little better with Jonathan Dorr or Yoon or whoever it was the fucking kicker in 2020. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It's probably Dorr. But the point is, like, man, it's probably Yoon. Like, I think there's a little bit of a coaching mentality difference here between Freeman and Kelly, right? Can I say that? I don't know. Max on mute. Maybe we lost this space. I don't know. It says Air Parsegian as a speaker. I don't know.
I think you're right. It is a difference in coaching philosophy. Brian Kelly was more, hey, let's just get the win. That's all that matters. Freeman is like, no, we're going to slit their throat. We're beating them.
Well, I also think like Freeman, like I've actually been critical of him. Like why are you going for it on 4th down? Just kick the field goal, right? Especially early in the game. He tends to do things as I quote surprise,
set the tone.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't settle for complacency. You know, you don't get rocked to sleep with him. I think if you're an opposing coach coaching against Freeman, you have to be on your toes. Be like, well, maybe they'll fake it here. Like that should be nagging in an opposing coach's mind when they're going against Notre Dame, which I think Freeman likes to do. Okay, which I'm kind of okay with because it's exciting and it makes the game interesting. Now back to what Mac is talking about. My problem with the premise of Mac's argument, and I'm going to shut you down just a little bit, Mac, is the fact that if Notre Dame has a low number of field goal attempts, I actually think that is a positive. Because that means that you're converting on third down, or you and here let's pause on that. Let's put a pin on that. Where was Notre Dame in third down last year? This is very important to what I want to the point I think I'm trying to say. Third down offense. Okay, here's the deal, Mac. It was the second best ever since 2009. We got this on. Oh, sorry, people. It's in the middle of my screen, not in the middle of yours. Notre Dame was 13th in the country on third down conversion on offense, converting on 48.2% of the time. National champions on average are 48.4%. So they're a little better. The best it ever was 2020, which is interesting because we had way more field goal kicking that year than we did from last year, right? But we were, and so we were 7th in the country in 2020, but we were 13th this past year. So it's the second best it's ever been since. All right, so we're climbing back up there. I see Notre Dame as being a positive there by not kicking as many field goals, because it means A, you're converting on third down, B, you're keeping drives alive, and C, you're scoring touchdowns, which is the most important stat, which is total touchdowns scored. Okay. C sub B or C prime is that you've got a coach that's a little more aggressive and keeps things a little interesting by going for it on fourth down. Right? Like, it would be interesting, I think, to look at fourth down conversion in 2020. Notre Dame had 16 attempts on fourth down. We were 37th, 10 of 16 here, 62%. All right, someone make mental note of that. Now let's jump over to this. Okay, I guess it was worse last year. All right, so Freeman's a little more aggressive. I don't know, maybe Kelly. So maybe I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. We're doing this on the fly. I don't know. I think it's an interesting point you're bringing up, Mac, right? I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong or whatever. It is what it is. So there it is. Mac, you're on mute. Maybe you're with the baby. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm helping with the bath.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good, man. But I think it's a good point. I'm not trying to shoot you down or be rude or nothing there. I think it's an interesting point. I mean, you are the specialist of special teams. Okay, so for you to bring up kicking and converting and whatnot, it's kind of your wheelhouse here. So, all right. Got Coach Barsegian, MJV84. I see you're on mute. If you wish to speak, by all means, jump in, Team Mom. If not, we will continue on with the show. I see JD here. John's 88. What's up?
I do have one question for you from the Peanut Gallery, which is my children and their friends.
Oh gosh.
Which
right.
Max, my oldest Max, who's 12, about to be 13, heard the Team Mom comment, and he's like, "Is he talking about you?" Because all I heard is Capri Suns and snacks. Said, yes. But I haven't been listening. I just sporadically on and off. He just wants to ask you who you guys think after Jeremiah Love and Price is going to be running back number one.
Excellent question, Max, and the Peanut Galleries. My initial thought, and granted, I have a recency bias because I watched the Penn State game from 2 years ago, is Aeneas Williams, because he actually was fantastic in that game. the running back room is actually small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 young men from Nolan James, Jonas Walton, Kendron Young, Aeneas Williams, Javion Osborne, Curtis Smith, and Matt Williams. That is per Notre Dame's website. My knee-jerk reaction is Aeneas Williams out of Hannibal, Missouri, being RB number 1. I think Max and the Peanut Gallery is very savvy to be asking the legit question of who is going to replace Jay Love, or no one can replace Jeremiah Love, but there is a hole that needs to be filled, and who's going to slip into those shoes, right? So I think Aeneas Williams is on paper, as far as productivity and what we've seen on the field previously, especially in big games. I think Aeneas Williams is that person. You know, you got Javion Osborne, but I will say this: the fact that the room is untested, you've got many running backs that are freshmen. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freshman running backs, 1 junior who's Aeneas Williams, and 1 sophomore who's Kendron Young. So if I'm going to go, do a rank, I'll do Aeneas Williams 1, Kendron Young 2, and then after that, pick your favorite freshman, right? Do you like New Jersey, Georgia, Indianapolis, or South Bend, Indiana? You guys are in Illinois, so Naperville, Illinois. Maybe you guys are keen on Matt Williams. Who knows? Okay. I don't know where Neuqua Valley is. Is that near you guys? I genuinely don't know. I'm not from Illinois. I'm actually from California, believe it or not. But point being, I think that's a great question by Max and the team mom. Are we getting Capri Suns at the next podcast next week? You don't have to answer that. That's fine. All right. That was fun. Okay, cool. All right. Let's move on. Let's segue to the NFL draft because Max apparently was reading my notes knowing that A, we were going to talk about running backs, and B, that we have a hole to fill. And Notre Dame's 2 best, most likely candidates to go to the draft. Oh, what happened? ESPN, fix your website. What's wrong with you? But right now, it appears that Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are Notre Dame's best options, picks, what have you. I've read multiple reports. We just got ESPN up here. Just why not? ESPN, Jordan Ranan is saying Jeremiah Love is going to go to the New York Football Giants. I saw something that's saying he was going to go 4th overall to the Titans. That would be dope. Not so much just because I like the Titans. That actually I'm agnostic to the Titans. But what I will say is this: pop quiz. If anyone knows, jump in and speak. Notre Dame's highest ranked NFL draft pick. What obviously first round, but what pick overall? Does anyone know the answer? Because I do. Coach Parsegian probably could care less. It was Joe Alt, and he went 5th overall. So if Jeremiah Love went 4th overall, he would be the highest rated draft pick ever in Notre Dame history. At least, like, I went back like 25 years. I didn't go back farther than that, but I'm pretty sure there's no one else, that's higher than that. So I would be hard pressed to find someone higher than Joe Alt. So that's cool. That's cool. And it's a skill position guy, right? It's not just an offensive lineman, which traditionally, historically, Notre Dame has sent great offensive linemen to the NFL, right? We don't need to talk about it because you guys already know who they are. So Jay Love going top 5, top 4, fantastic, right? The next best or likely guy to go next for Notre Dame is Jadarian Price. A couple weeks ago, I was looking at this, and he may go in the first round, like a later pick in the first round, or he's going to go in the in early in the second round. So we'll see. Ranking. This is again. I don't know how ESPN does this, but ESPN ranks. Top 25 players in all of college football, and then they do the top 150. Jadarian Price is number 27. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be picked 27th overall, but as far as the ranking of the players and who's the quote best player on the board to get, Jadarian Price would be number 27 on that list, which is cool. Malachi Fields, 76th wide receiver. Eli Reardon, 117. Good stuff right there. Will Pauling's actually ranked 66th out of all the wide receivers. So I imagine Will Pauling will be a late round guy. Definitely will be a practice squad kind of guy. Eli Reardon will get drafted. Emil Wagner, he's probably going to go late round kind of guy. Billy Sherroth, we'll see what happens with him. He's 9th overall in the guard position, right? Gabriel Rubio, we'll see. Probably a practice squad kind of guy. Devonta Smith, same kind of story. There's lots of guys from Jalen Strawman. Let's give everybody their propers here, and that was the last one. So, those are the guys. Those are the young men who have left Notre Dame, went off to pursue a career in the NFL, and we wish them the best. So Thursday we will, be paying attention to what's happening in those early rounds of the NFL draft. It's exciting, and it's cool when your two best players that are likely to be drafted potentially on day one were both running backs. Which again just blows my mind of what was the potential of this team. And also, what kudos and what praise needs to be given to Marcus Freeman and the coaching staff to manage two excellent talents at the same position and keep them A, both engaged, and B, demonstrate their skill set and contributions to the football team, and both of them still potentially be drafted in the first round. How cool is that? Okay, so I think that's huge. I think it says a lot about the coaching staff and Freeman and being able to navigate those waters where people with hotter heads, people that are less savvy, whatever, someone enters the transfer portal because they're not getting the love. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens there. So I'm excited for these guys. I'm sad to see them leave Notre Dame, if they leave early, what have you. But I do wish them great success in the pros. It's because I'll never get there. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. If not, we're going to move on. We might change gears. Coach Barsegian, you got anything to say about that, or you don't care?
No, not about the NFL.
You don't really care. Are you at least curious where they're going to go?
No, I expect both to be easily first round.
Okay. I like that.
If Love goes out of the top 10, something's wrong.
I would be surprised with that. I think teams are stupid.
If Price goes out of the top 20, something else is wrong.
Yeah, I actually would be shocked if he goes within the top 20. But if he goes for late first round, I'd be super cool with that. I heard Mendoza, who's projected to go to the Raiders, that he
will be a flop.
Well, I don't know if it'll be a flop, but I actually heard that he was gonna stay home for the draft.
Yeah, he's skipping the draft.
So
but
I don't know.
He will not.
He doesn't want to travel to Pittsburgh.
No, I don't think he's going to be what he's.
Nothing against Pittsburgh, but why was the draft in Pittsburgh? I don't. Is it going to be?
He can't go because of his mom. His mom.
Oh,
Can't
that's right.
travel to
Doesn't his
Pittsburgh.
mom? His mom has like MS or something, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
my God.
wheelchair bound.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Well, that's nice. That's nice. See, that's classy. Well,
We all love a mama's boy.
yeah.
I have
I'm
one
not a
question.
mom. Yeah, what's up?
There was a Brown space, and they had Will Pauling on, and he spoke for quite a long time, and he just was so likable, and I adore him after listening to him. But do you think he will? I think he has draft hopes, but I'm not quite familiar with everything he did.
Yeah, I don't. So this is per some article on ESPN. Let me pull this up here on the YouTube channel. The wide receivers, they rank all the wide receivers here. So they got Malachi Fields as 14th for Notre Dame. Will Pauling, to your question, is 66th on this list out of 85 young men. So you do the math there on that, and I don't know on average how many receivers have been drafted over 5-6 rounds, what have you. So we may be looking at a practice squad thing, just again based off of these rankings, right? I'd be shocked if 60 receivers are taken in the draft, right? That's a lot of guys. And maybe it's not, it's like three players per team. I don't know.
Well, this is
two
not
plus per team. Maybe it's not out of the question.
This is not an attack on the Browns in any shape or form.
Uh-oh.
I mean, they're better
Be
than
prepared
the Jets.
to roll it up with MJV84
No,
here.
I like the Browns.
You
I
like the Browns?
histo-
I don't hate the Browns.
Historical franchises I actually like and respect. But
I actually think Cleveland was kind of a cool town. I'm just gonna go on a limb.
but they're not the Jets, so you've got that going for you. However, I feel like considering they've got Shedeur Sanders as our quarterback, Will Pauling could start for Cleveland right now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. All right. Well, I think we're going to start winding things down. It's been over an hour plus here. I don't want to cut anybody off if anyone has any other NFL draft talk or Cleveland Browns talk, but I'm actually kind of curious now that MJV84 has brought this up. The Browns are projected with the 6th pick overall, looking at a tackle. Francis Magoa, offensive tackle from Miami, is who they're projected to get. At least this one article, MJV84. So there it is. All right. So the title of the show is Mexican Joker. Let's roll with this. And we'll go with this. Okay. Oh, golly willikers. Why is this not playing? Oh, I know why. Shoot. Rookie. All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
Okay, you remember how they always create the villain? Some random person who, when they were a child, got taken from their parents and locked away, and the kid was just left to sit and plan revenge? What you're doing here is creating a Mexican Joker. And what's a Mexican Joker gonna do? He's gonna grow up and have memories of being wronged by you, and he will grow and wait and then finally fight back with a passion unlike anything you've ever seen.
Which one of them do you think is Mexican Joker?
All right. Not to make fun of, political or whatever. Like, that's not the point of that. But no, like
That's South Park.
That's South Park. That's what that was, is what inspired the title of this show. I do think Notre Dame was wronged drastically at the end of last season. And I think the fans are pissed, the coaches are pissed, the players are pissed, the administration is pissed. No one's happy. And the fact that Notre Dame's response has been kind of using that as motivation in the offseason, I think is a strong positive. And I do think Notre Dame does need to fight back, in a sense, with a vengeance after being wronged at the end of last season. Other opposing fans will hate me for saying that. I don't care. Okay, I'm a Notre Dame fan. That's what I'm wearing. That's what's behind me. Okay, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I think that we are now the villain. I think that the system of college football, the committee, turned its back against us and made us who we are. Not that we fell into a vat of radioactive slime. That's not what I'm saying. But we are now the villain. We do not have to play nice. We need to dictate, dominate every single game we play. I'm seeing since that terrible, terrible day where we were snubbed from the playoffs, where Miami was put in, Alabama was put in, and we were not. Okay? I'm seeing things like this, and y'all have seen this. Leave no doubt. The Revenge Tour. Our Dos Leprechauns people are putting out t-shirts right now with Revenge Tour with the schedule on the back of the shirt, right? I'm this close to buying it and adding to cart, okay? Freeman has come out and said, keep the pain. You know, there's a video of him as soon as that happened, there's a live thing, and he has to kind of talk to the team right after. It's kind of a shitty place to be as a coach. And he's like, I have nothing to say here. I'm supposed to have the person that has all the answers. How do I have an answer after this? But so it's painful. It's terrible. It hurts. It's awful. Keep that pain inside. Let that fuel you. Let that drive you. And unfortunately, that festers. That creates a wound and a deep, deep scar inside of all of us. And that should fuel us going into this next season and take it out on our soft schedule. And it is soft this year. So, I've said this before. I think Carr year 5 of Freeman is going to be something special, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, all right, I've explained the Mexican Joker thing, and that's kind of where we're at with this show. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, unless anyone's got anything else they want to say. So, MJV84, if you want to come off mute, anything there? If not, we'll call it good. Nope, Hart, we're all good here. Coach Bryce Tejan will give you the last word here.
How many more weeks or months until you're back?
No, I'll be back. All right, great question. I will be back next Tuesday because number one, we'll have it
post spring game.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have some commentary about the spring game, and people who did not. We had a lot of regulars who did not jump on tonight, so I appreciate everybody who jumped on tonight. Anywhere from Jay to MJV4, you, Coach, Fivers, etc. But a ton of other people who didn't jump on.
It's not a Peacock exclusive, right?
I'm pretty sure it is a Peacock exclusive.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, stick around. You know, it'll come up. You'll catch highlights. You know, and all the important
Maybe
stuff.
Maybe it'll be on the jailbroken Fire Stick.
We'll find out, won't we? But yeah, no, that's kind of where the show's at. Look, I titled the show Mexican Joker. I think that I wanted to start off this season 7 of the podcast with a bang, and with a little tongue in cheek, because I'm pissed still about last season, how it ended. I'm not personally walking around mad every day, but the point is, like, if I really think about it, like, yeah, it's upsetting. And if that does not upset you, Notre Dame fan, then what the fuck are you doing here? Like, seriously, like, you can't be happy, you can't be satisfied with what happened last year. So what other choice do you have? Okay? Don't just say, well, it's a new season. No, this is not just a new season. We got royally screwed at the end of last year. We'll never know how good that 2025 season could have been for Notre Dame, and we'll never know. So here we are, and this is all we have is now, is to move forward into 2026 with the players and the coaches that we have. So thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight on the podcast. And, wow, Celtic chant seems really loud tonight. Oh, my gosh. There we go. It's a little better. Screaming over the horn section in Notre Dame Stadium. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight on the show. Enjoy the spring game. I think 2 o'clock Eastern is what I saw. 99.9% sure it's on Peacock, so make sure you got that sorted. Have a great one. Go Irish. Blue beat gold. Gold beat blue. All right.